Okay, the next section of the video, what we're going to do is go over the strikes that primarily that we use in Pitbull combat jiu-jitsu. First thing, anything that you can find that works for you, use it. These are basic kicks, stuff like that. Now when we get to the punching part, like the hand techniques, the elbow techniques, stuff like that, we're going to teach them during the technique because they're easier to learn. Now the kicks are a little different story, so we're going to show you them and then kind of give you a brief description on how they are used. As far as combat is concerned, there's two phases of combat. There's the first phase, or the initial stage, when you are being attacked. You're standing face to face with the attacker. You might have guys on the side and the back, whatever, but that is your first phase. If you can get that guy out, then that's fine on the first phase. But if you fail to take your attacker out on the first phase, we go to what I call the second phase, and that's what we call a dog fight. That's what Pitbull Jiu-Jitsu is all about. Your traditional type blocks and stuff like that will work in your first phase self-defense. It does not work good for a second phase, especially if you're fighting a skilled fighter. All right, the first kick that we're going to go over is a front snap kick. And basically, not only are you learning a front snap kick, but you're learning a basic self-defense technique in itself. You have a man standing in front of you. You want to try to get your front snap kick up good and use all three principles that are involved in the front snap kick. Okay, first I'm going to have Josh do a few with his right leg, fast. Okay, begin. Okay, now stopping. The first thing that you want to do is your chamber in the leg, that knee's pointing to your target. Then you do the explosion, or the kick itself, and then the recovery is very important for two reasons. One, so you can get your balance good, so he can't grab your leg, and then back down. So that's basically it. You're kicking the guy in the groin or the knee, whatever target that you choose. Them two are being the best. That is the front snap kick. Turn to the side, one side or the other. Okay, give me a couple slow. And notice as he's kicking, he's bringing his guard up just in case the attacker wants to try to swing at that time. One more. Okay, good. All right, the second kick. I'll face the camera again. The second kick is the side snap kick. This is basically, you're learning to kick, and at the same time you should be visualizing an attacker. This one will be from the side. You know, guy standing right here. You might have a guy in front of you, but at a distance. Use your imagination. But this is basically what you're using it for. Okay, well, you'd be using the right leg. Do a couple fast. Begin. Okay, it's just a snap. It's a side kick with a snap. There is no hip. It's meant to be fast and efficient. Okay? Do a couple slow. Bringing the knee up, kicking out, bringing it back. All three principles have to be used in all the kicks. Okay? Good. That's the side snap kick. The next one is the back kick. It's the same thing. You have a man to the rear. Back kick. Turn this way. Do a few of them quickly. Okay, and slow. Bring the knee up, straight back with the heel, come back and down. One more time. Up. Making sure you're looking where you're kicking. Back and down. All right. The next kick that we're going to be going over is the side thrust kick. This is your power kick. The side snap kick is for speed. This one is for damaging. This is for destroying your attacker's leg or whatever it is that you're hitting. Okay, a couple quick. Okay, and slow it down. Okay. So note the last minute, the hip should go into it. Bang. Driving down with your body weight and your hips thrusting into the kick. Notice how the hips is turned. This cheek here should be facing your attacker with the side kick. The back kick, both cheeks should be facing your attacker. That's one of the differences. Okay, one more. Okay, good. All right, the next kick that we're going to go over is the number one knee kick, what we call it. Okay? This is an easy, basic self-defense technique First, we're going to have him demonstrate the number one knee a couple times, and then we're going to show you the application on how we use it. Okay, using your right knee, go ahead and begin. Okay. Noticing that he's on the balls of his feet. He should be springing on the ball of his feet. And what he's doing with his hands is he's praying a right cross. Okay? Showing this. Okay. Getting the left lead. Okay. Throwing a right cross. We take a step forward, slapping the hands down, and driving the knee into the body. That is what it is that you're doing. So this is one of your first basic punching self-defense techniques. Instead of using one hand to block, keeping your hands up as you step forward, and knee. Very, very effective. Making sure that knee is straight. Straight in, you're on the balls of your feet for spring, driving it straight forward, using your hips. That's the number one knee. Practice that one, that's going to be one of your big guns. Okay? The next one is the tie round kick. You use this, all these are our back leg kicks. Okay, give us a few demonstrations. Okay, as you notice, he's going all the way through the center line. What we want to hit with is the shin. I'll show you the parts of the shin that we want to hit with in a moment. Okay, now this variation of the tie round is when you follow all the way through. And the only time you want to do this is if you have your opponent hurt. Okay, let's give a follow through a couple of them. If you notice, he covers as he comes out. You either want to set this up real well, or your opponent needs to be hurt before you use it. Okay? Okay, stop. Okay, this is the part of the shin that you are wanting to hit with. From here to here. That is what you're wanting to hit with. The reasoning why we use it is if a person wanted to retreat while you're trying to kick him, at least you still get him with your instep. If you aim for the instep at first and the guy retreats, you might catch the end of your toes and hyperextend your foot. Not only that, you're not going to get as much pain out of your technique with the instep as the shin. The instep we use for the groin almost exclusively. The ball of their foot or the tip of the foot we'll use for some pressure points sometimes. And the ball of the foot, heel, and the shins, they're the big weapons. That's what we use a lot with our, because you have to remember you're going to have shoes on. This is, for today's society, hardly anybody goes barefooted anymore. Okay? So, okay, the next kick, the next section of kicks that we want to go through is the forward leg kicks. The forward leg front snap kick is the first one. You notice he's kicking with the instep because it's the only place that's going is to the groin. That's the only place you want to go with this. Okay? You want to try to get to where we weapon first. You want to basically try to get that foot moving before anything else. Make it harder for your attacker to block. Okay? One of the things that you can use this for in fight stance is finting. That's something that you're going to hear time and time again in this system. It's finting. This is a very good kick for finting. It's also a very good kick for somebody when their center is wide open. In other words, they're facing real wide, like a boxer or a wrestler or something like that. And if they don't, you can still use the kick. Somebody in the side stance to the knee, but it makes a real good fint. That's one of the big things we use this for anything else. You have a backhand finger flick. It comes up like you're doing a front kick. That'll automatically get his attention there, and then you do a backhand finger flick to the eyes or a punch. Several different ones. The combinations are immense. Okay, the next kick that you're going to do is the forward leg roundhouse kick. Forward leg round kick. Okay? Turn aside, kick that direction. Notice he's not chambering the leg very much. It's basically the natural bend of the leg from his fighting stance is coming up. What we're doing there, what that is for, and how we do this, you'll understand it as the next kick comes around. Basically, if we're in the same lead, both of us in the right lead. Another thing in Pitbull Jiu-Jitsu, what you want to do is you want to stay in your power lead. You do not switch stances for nobody. You stay in your power lead. And the only time you switch to a left lead is if one of your digits, one of your forward leg weapons, your forward arm or your leg has got injured, but then you might retract and use the left lead as a backup. We do practice the left lead, but that's basically all it is. It's like a spare tire, you might say. But that's what it's for. It's just going to the groin, and that sets up everything else. All the other power stuff that you want to do. Getting the hands down. It can be as a vent. The same thing. And you attack with your hand weapons or any other technique. Okay? The next kick is the forward leg twisting kick. Okay? Very slowly. Comes up, and it comes, it's like an inverted round kick or a twisting kick. Okay? Good. All right. Now, getting a left lead. Face me. Okay, this is what this is for. If you just remember, the last kick that we did the forward leg round kick. That's for somebody that's in your same lead. Now we have somebody that's in a left lead. We don't want to change our stance. So this is the kick we'll use for basically the same purpose. It comes up. Kicks to the groin. Straight there. Okay? That's all you're doing. Comes up, in, and back. That's all you're doing. It's very snappy, because it don't take much to hurt the groin, but that gets everything else that you want to do open, because the groin, no matter if you don't hit the groin, their attention will go down to that. Okay, the next one is the 45 side. Slowly comes up, and it's in your foot's in a 45. There is no, it's like a side snap kick, but you're still in a fighting stance so that you can follow up. It's a very fast kick. Slowly. So you notice the foot is in a 45 up. That's basically why we call it that. Okay. This kick is used for jamming. It's also used for attacking, but one of the big things other than striking like all the other kicks, we use this in a stop hit mode. You can use it against any type kick, or if the guy tries to throw a punch, noting that if you're out of their critical distance zone where they can't kick you, throw a kick, bring your foot up. He can't kick me from this distance. The only way that he can kick is take a step forward. If he tries to throw a punch, he has to take a step forward to throw that punch. This is a drill that you need to work on. Let's say he's going to throw a left jab. That's one of the first things that you really want to try to practice this. You need to do it slow. What you want to do is, as soon as you see him move, you're 45 side and the knee out. Okay, that's considered a stop. Over here, bang, just like that. You're leaning back out of the way, your hands is up, side to the knee. Use control, side to knee. Keeping your hands up. As you notice, I'm moving my head out of the way. Blocks will get you hurt. Best things to do, parry. Trapping is about the only kind of system of blocking we'll use in Pitbull Jiu-Jitsu. Second phase fighting, blocks don't work very well. Okay, so that's the 45 side. The next kick that we're going to go over is called the rabbit knee. And basically what this is a finishing technique. First we're going to have Josh demonstrate how it's done in the air one time. And there's a reason why I call it that. It's what basically you're just banging him with your knee. You got your hand around his neck and you're just banging him with your knee. Okay? All right, we'll go back and forth one time with this. Do one set of 5 each. Go ahead and go first. That's how you want to practice it with your partner. You just get your arms down there and he basically just, that's also a defense against the knee. Putting your arms down, hitting across the thigh. Okay? You notice when Josh got into that, he did not go like this with both hands. It's easy for him to block, elbow, a lot of other techniques, headbutt, anything. So you always want to go one hand. So you have this hand to block, defend, then his hand, and then you squeeze it in, and then you go to your knees. 3, 4. Okay? You make sure your hip is driving forward, you're getting back nice and deep, driving in. That is a finishing technique. You already have him, you don't want to go straight to that. You already have him hurt, and you want to finish him off. That's one good way of doing it. Just machine gun some knees in on him. Okay, the next kick is the shin kick. Okay? Slow and lower. Okay. Again. Okay, good. All right, the shin kick is also an attacking kick, it's like all other kicks, but it's also a stop hit kick too as well. We'll do this very slowly because this can be very painful. You need to have shin pads to practice this kind of stuff, but this is another drill that we do and you'll see in later tapes. But one of the best things this is for any rear leg kick. Rear leg front kick being the first one that you'll practice. Basically, when you see the rear leg front kick coming, you stop it with a shin kick. Okay? Very, very painful to the attacker when you jam it through. The knee comes up and straight through and down. You're just like stomping on the leg. As soon as you see him move, that's when you have to react with that kick. Okay?